Tonight's episode of the Aaron Cohen Show is brought to you by the Cherries Counterterrorism School. Whether you're law enforcement, looking to expand your training and load up on some outside agency courses, or you're a security professional looking to enhance your tactical toolkit, the Cherries Counterterror School offers online certifications in Israel's cutting-edge counterterrorism tactics, active shooter response, behavioral detection, advanced limited penetration room clearing, trusted Israeli methodologies from Israel's top security training. Visit cherriescounterterror.com and train and get certified today. Welcome to the Aaron Cohen Show. I'm Aaron Cohen, Israeli Special Operations veteran. Tonight I'm going to be breaking down what I'm calling the $100 million hustle. Yeah, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. This wasn't just a fight. This was a battle between generations. That's the way I see it. Gen Z's YouTube kingpin versus Gen X's ultimate warrior. And for those of you who grew up watching Tyson like I did, we weren't just expecting a fight here. We were expecting a lesson. And we wanted to see Mike smash that little YouTuber and remind the world what real tough looks like. But instead, we got something completely different. Zero aggression from Jake. No knockout punches from Mike. No aggressiveness. Instead, it felt like a $100 million business deal wrapped in a boxing match. Now, when you come up in the intelligence world like I did, your number one skill is detecting lies and spotting bullshit. And let me tell you, this fight and everything around it sets off all kinds of red flags. And tonight, I'll use my training to break down what really happened, analyzing the body language, the behavioral profile of both fighters during their post-fight interviews. Because when you know how to spot the tells, the truth becomes impossible to ignore.
Real and Tyson in his trademark coming out fast, or how fast he can be at 58, Roy Jones. Rounds, Jake Paul 12 of 53, 23%. Tyson coming out aggressively. Tyson.
You know, over the last 10 years, everybody's talked a lot about Jake Paul and his hustle, his focus on money, the way he played this fight like a business deal instead of a battle, particularly with this fight here. But what I want to do is I want to shift gears for a second, and I want to talk about the real hero of this story, and that's Mike Tyson. And Tyson isn't just a boxer. This guy's a symbol, a man who's been to hell and back. He's fought demons while still managing to step back into the ring. And this isn't really Jake Paul's story, in my opinion. It never was. This was Tyson's story, his journey. And here's a guy who rose from nothing to become the youngest heavyweight champion in history. Unbeatable, untouchable, an absolute force of nature with that monster neck of his. And then like so many icons, he fell. Prison, bankruptcy, addiction, you name it, man. Tyson faced it, and yet here he is, 58, almost 60 years old, and he's still fighting. Not just in the ring, but in my opinion, in life.
Throw wild punches.
Big left hook, and there is Sam down. The count is on.
Takes 2 steps forward, let's go with a couple of lefts, now a right, a left, he's got him down.
What do I expect? He said he's not looking for the Tyson who fought Magillian Mathis. Here's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laying it on, pouring it on, down goes.
I just want the truth to be heard. I just want to have this new trial. You know what I mean? I just want this to be heard. I just want to be vindicated.
Now, Jake Paul might bring in the dollars, but I'm going to tell you this. Tyson brings in the heart. And that's why no matter how much Jake tries to make this fight about him, it will always be Tyson's story. Jake Paul, he just got to have a little role in it. He was an extra, a little bit of background sprinkled in, because that's really what he is. You know, he's just a little YouTube kid. I don't care how long he's been training, how many years he's been boxing, how much better he's getting. He's just a YouTube kid. Now let's talk about Jake Paul. We all know that this little 27-year-old tattooed, whatever he is, this kid's a businessman first. But his body language after the fight gave away far more than he intended to. And that's because there's microtells. There's things that your body does that you cannot control when you're lying.
Did you try to knock him out?
Man, I was trying to hurt him a little bit, you know. I was scared that he was going to hurt me. I'm trying to hurt him, but, you know, I did my best. I did my best.
Paul admits he held back. Look at his posture. Shoulders are slightly slouched. He shifts his weight. That's what we call a comfort-seeking behavior, or microtell. A subconscious way the body tries to ease tension when someone feels exposed. Now, you got to remember, Jake is not a trained professional intelligence operative. He's a YouTube celebrity. Notice his lips pull in tight. This fleeting smile as he talks. This is called the duping delight in my world. And it's a micro expression that's triggered by the brain's reward system when someone feels they've gotten away with something. Detectives use it when they're investigating murders and interviewing murder suspects. It's subtle, but it's there. Now, when you've been trained in behavioral detection, this kind of tell is very hard for a guy like me to miss. The moment Paul starts talking about holding back, you can see his body doing the talking before his words even catch up. Have a look.
Man, I was trying to hurt him a little bit, you know. I was scared that he was going to hurt me.
And here's another classic microtell. Jake rubs the nose. Physiologically, stress triggers adrenaline. It causes that little itch in the nose to happen from that little adrenal dump. It increases blood flow to the sensitive areas like the nose, causing an itching sensation. He can't not scratch it. This is the body's way of self-soothing during a moment of deep anxiety or deception. And then there's his choice of words. That's another layer to the deception package when we peel it back. And when asked,
I did my best. I did my best.
Repetition is a verbal reinforcement, a subconscious way of trying to convince himself and the audience of something he's not fully confident in. Add that to his lack of aggression in the ring, and the red flags are everywhere. Let's set the stage. Jake Paul, the 27-year-old Gen Z YouTube star turned boxer, versus Mike Tyson, the 58-year-old icon of Generation X. This wasn't just a fight. This was a generational showdown, in my opinion. And let's be honest, we Gen Xers wanted to see Jake Paul, this loudmouth YouTube kid, get absolutely smashed. We wanted Mike to teach him a lesson and to show him real fighters don't play games. But we got let down. Instead of the raw power and aggression we remember from Mike Tyson, we saw restraint. We saw some injury with that knee. And instead of Jake Paul stepping up to prove himself as a boxer, we saw a guy more interested in protecting his brand than winning a fight. It worked. Jake Paul didn't come to win. He came to hustle. And then there's this. At the end of the fight, Jake Paul said something that stuck with me. That guy knows where the payday is. Think about that. Not the tactics, not the fight, not Tyson, just the payday. That one comment tells you everything you need to know about this fight.
But
How about Canelo? You said Canelo this week.
Canelo needs me, so I'm not even going to try and call him out. But he knows he wants the payday, so he knows where the money man's at.
This wasn't a fight. It was a $100 million hustle. And Jake Paul played the game perfectly, holding back his aggression, respecting Tyson, making sure the narrative stayed about money. But Tyson's story, that's the real fight. And that's something that money can't buy. So what do you think? Was this a brilliant business move or a scam disguised as a sport? Drop your thoughts and comments below. Keep this conversation going. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Stay safe, stay sharp, stay trained, and I'll see you on the next Aaron Cohen Show.